I described a task in one plain sentence, no special command, no button, and Claude quietly loaded an entire set of specific instructions I'd built weeks earlier, applying my exact formatting rules automatically without me mentioning them at all. That's the actual point of this feature, and it's genuinely one of the most underused things sitting inside an account most people already pay for. It works because a skill isn't a plugin you install and forget about. It's a package of instructions Claude actively watches for and loads the moment your request matches what that skill is built to handle, meaning you stop re-explaining the same workflow every single conversation. I only share methods I test myself, so every step and every mistake in this video came from actually building and using these myself. Quick ask before we start. Like this video and subscribe. It genuinely helps. Let's clear up an important distinction first, because this exact feature name gets used for two genuinely separate systems. There's Claude AI skills living inside your browser account, and there's Claude Code skills living inside the terminal-based coding tool. And while they share the same underlying file structure, they're enabled, installed, and managed through completely different interfaces. This video focuses specifically on the Claude AI version, the one available to regular browser and desktop app users, not the coding-specific terminal setup. Now let's start with what a skill actually is at its core, because the concept is simpler than it sounds. A skill is fundamentally a folder containing one required file with instructions Claude follows whenever that skill applies, optionally paired with extra scripts, templates, or reference material if the task needs them. Some skills are genuinely simple, nothing more than a written description of your exact preferences, your formatting rules, your tone, your specific structure. And that simplicity is exactly why they're so effective. You're not writing code, you're encoding a preference once so you never have to restate it again. Before you can use any skill at all, there's one prerequisite setting you need enabled first. Skills require code execution to be turned on, so go into your account settings, find the Capabilities section, and make sure code execution and file creation is switched on, since skills won't function at all without that underlying capability active. Once that's enabled, you're ready to actually use skills, either ones already available to you or ones you build yourself. Let's cover how you actually trigger a skill once it's set up, because there are two ways, and knowing both matters. The first is purely conversational. If a skill is written well, simply describing your task in plain language is enough. Claude compares your request against that skill's description and loads it automatically without you ever naming it directly. The second is explicit invocation, typing a / followed by the skill's specific name, which is useful when you want to guarantee a specific skill runs immediately, rather than trusting the automatic matching to pick correctly. Here's a real example of that automatic matching working exactly as intended. Asking to turn a set of numbers into a properly formatted spreadsheet report without mentioning any skill by name at all is specific enough on its own to automatically trigger the dedicated spreadsheet formatting skill behind the scenes. That's the actual experience skills are built around. You just describe what you want in normal language, and the right specialized instructions load themselves in the background. Now let's walk through building your own, because this is where the real long-term value actually lives. Open the Customize section of your settings and navigate specifically to Skills, then select the option to create a new one. Give it a clear name and, critically, a specific description, since that description is exactly what determines whether Claude recognizes your future requests as a match for this skill or not. Below that, write the actual instructions, the specific formatting rules, structure, tone, or workflow you want followed every single time this skill applies, as detailed and explicit as you'd be briefing a new team member who's never seen your standards before. For a real example, think about a skill that encodes your exact preferred structure for a specific recurring document, the sections you always want included, the tone you always want used, the exact things you never want left out, written once, applied automatically from then on. That category of skill, pure written preference with no code involved at all, is genuinely the simplest to build and often the single most valuable one people never think to make, because it directly closes the gap between generic AI output and output that already matches exactly how you actually work. Now, here's the mistake that trips up almost everyone the first time they try sharing or reinstalling a skill, and it's worth understanding clearly before it costs you a confusing failed upload. If you're packaging a skill as a compressed file to upload or share with someone else, the skills folder itself needs to be the top level of that compressed file, not loose files sitting directly inside it, and not an extra wrapper folder surrounding the actual skill folder either. People routinely zip up the contents incorrectly, either flattening everything to the root level or accidentally nesting it one folder too deep, and the upload either fails outright or behaves unpredictably once it does technically go through. The fix is simple, but easy to get wrong without checking. Before uploading anything, open the compressed file yourself first and confirm you see exactly one folder at the top level, matching your skill's actual name with everything else living inside that single folder, nothing floating loose beside it. That one structural check done before every upload prevents the single most common reason a technically well-written skill still fails to install correctly for you or for anyone you're sharing it with. Here's the golden tip that actually gets you using this feature regularly instead of building one skill once and forgetting the whole thing exists. Start with your single most repeated request, the thing you find yourself re-explaining almost every week, and build that into your very first skill before attempting anything more elaborate or code-heavy. Write the description specifically enough that your natural, everyday phrasing for that task would genuinely trigger it automatically, then actually test it with a real, normal request instead of an artificial one designed just to prove the skill works. That habit, starting with your most repeated task and writing a description that matches how you'd actually phrase things in real life, is what turns this from a feature you tried once into a permanent part of how you actually work. I test new AI deals every week. If a new free method comes out, you'll see it here first. One last practical note before you go build one yourself. This feature and its exact settings location have shifted more than once already this year as it's continued rolling out more broadly. So if a specific menu path in this video doesn't match exactly what you're seeing, check your current settings directly rather than assuming something's broken. Confirm code execution is genuinely enabled first if a skill doesn't seem to trigger at all, since that missing prerequisite is the most common reason skills silently don't work for someone trying this for the first time. In the next video, I'm building an entire connected set of skills that work together on one larger recurring workflow instead of just one isolated task, to show you how far this actually scales once you stop thinking about skills one at a time. Subscribing is the only way you'll catch that build before it's finished.